Hello, my beautiful souls. I am on my way to go to bed. Was planning on recording a reading tomorrow and getting into it tomorrow because I had a very busy day, but Spirit won't let me sleep. Okay, so let's get started. Virgo, life doesn't operate on sudden schedules. Most significant change happens gradually through small choices compounding, through patterns shifting incrementally, through sustained effort producing results that seem sudden only because you weren't tracking the accumulation. So when content promises a lot about to happen suddenly, when it suggests dramatic shift is imminent, when it creates expectation of rapid transformation, it's misrepresenting how change actually works. It's selling you on drama that's more compelling than reality. It's making gradual process sound like sudden event because events sell better than processes. And that misrepresentation, it keeps you passive, keeps you waiting for the sudden shift instead of doing the gradual work, keeps you hoping for transformation instead of building it through daily choices. How long have you been waiting for sudden change instead of creating gradual improvement? Be honest about what waiting has cost you. Because here's what a lot means in practice: nothing specific, could be multiple small developments, could be one significant event, could be normal life fluctuation that you interpret as a lot because prediction primed you to see it that way. The vagueness ensures the prediction can't be disproven because life is always producing developments, always offering experiences, always creating situations that could be described as a lot happening. So you'll experience normal life and you'll decide whether it qualifies as a lot based on your interpretation, based on whether you want the prediction to be accurate, based on how generous you're willing to be in retrofitting events to match the claim. That's not prophecy. That's just understanding that life continues and you'll make it mean whatever you need it to mean. Can you see how unfalsifiable this claim is? Recognize predictions that can't be wrong because they're too vague to test, because I need to address what suddenly creates psychologically, it creates expectation of passivity, of transformation happening to you rather than through you, of dramatic shift occurring without your sustained effort. And that expectation, it's corrosive because as long as you're waiting for sudden change, you're not investing in gradual improvement. As long as you're hoping for rapid transformation, you're not doing boring daily work that compounds. You're surrendering agency to belief that change comes from outside, that your life shifts through external forces rather than through your choices, and that surrender it keeps you exactly where you are, waiting, hoping, consuming predictions about change instead of creating it. What daily actions create the change you're hoping will arrive suddenly? Start taking them instead of waiting for cosmic delivery. Because here's what actually creates visible shift in your life: consistent small actions over extended time, showing up when you don't feel like it, maintaining discipline when motivation fades, choosing aligned actions repeatedly until patterns shift. And that process, it doesn't feel sudden while it's happening. It feels slow, feels like nothing's changing, feels like effort without return until threshold gets crossed, until accumulation reaches critical mass, until compound effect becomes visible. And then it feels sudden, feels like overnight transformation, feels like dramatic shift. But it wasn't sudden, it was gradual process, finally producing visible result. You just weren't tracking the accumulation, so the result seems to appear from nowhere. That's what's actually about to happen suddenly, if anything is. Not cosmic intervention, not external shift, just your own accumulated choices finally producing observable outcome. Are you doing the accumulation work or just waiting for sudden breakthrough? One creates actual change. Other creates perpetual waiting, because I want to talk about the eye emoji, the watching eyes. They suggest pay attention. They create sense that something significant is occurring that you might miss if you're not vigilant. And that suggestion, it keeps you activated, keeps you scanning for signs, keeps you interpreting normal events as potentially significant. Because if you're told to watch for a lot happening suddenly, you'll notice everything. You'll assign meaning to developments that might otherwise seem mundane. And when you're in that hypervigilant state, when you're looking for significance, you find it, even when it's not there, even when it's just normal life being normal life. So the prediction doesn't make things happen. The prediction makes you notice what's already happening and interpret it as fulfillment of what was promised. Are you noticing more, or is more actually happening? Distinguish between changed perception and changed reality. Because here's what people who actually create change do differently. They don't wait for a lot to happen suddenly. They make small things happen consistently. They don't consume predictions about transformation. They consume information about how to build skills, how to change habits, how to create systems that produce desired outcomes. They don't hope for dramatic shifts. They commit to boring consistency that produces gradual improvement. They understand that sustainable change comes through process, not through event. Through daily practice, not through sudden breakthrough. And they're fine with that. Fine with slow progress. Fine with incremental gains. Fine with transformation that takes years instead of happening suddenly, because they know that's what actually works. That's what creates lasting change. That's what builds lives worth living. Which approach are you taking? Your actual life circumstances reveal the answer, because I also need to address the addiction to sudden. Some people are addicted to drama, to intensity, to the feeling that something significant is always about to happen. And content that promises a lot happening, suddenly it feeds that addiction, gives you hit of anticipatory excitement, makes you feel like you're on verge of breakthrough even when you're doing nothing to create it. But addiction to sudden change prevents you from doing gradual work, because gradual work is boring, doesn't create the excitement that sudden promises create. So you stay stuck in pattern of consuming predictions about dramatic shifts while your actual life remains unchanged, because you're not doing the work that creates real transformation. If you recognize that pattern, if you see that you're addicted to promises of sudden change, break the addiction. Stop consuming this content. Start doing boring, consistent work. Learn to find satisfaction in incremental progress instead of needing dramatic breakthroughs. Can you tolerate the boredom of gradual improvement? This determines whether you actually change or just keep hoping for change. Because ultimately, here's the truth, a lot is always happening. Life is constantly producing experiences, situations, developments. That's just what living means. And some of it will feel sudden. Some events will arrive unexpectedly. Some changes will seem to happen rapidly, even if they were building gradually. But none of that requires prediction. None of that needs cosmic warning. It's just life being life. So, content telling you a lot is about to happen suddenly. It's not seeing your future. It's describing universal human experience and making it sound like personalized insight. And you believing it, waiting for it, organizing your expectations around it. That's you giving power to statement that contains no actual information. You can keep doing that, can keep consuming predictions about sudden change, can keep waiting for a lot to happen while doing nothing to create it. Or you can recognize that your power is in daily choices, in consistent action, in gradual building that eventually produces results you can see. That's what actually transforms lives, not sudden cosmic shifts, not dramatic breakthroughs that arrive from nowhere. Not predictions that something's about to happen, just you showing up, doing the work, choosing aligned actions, repeatedly over time until the life you want gets built through accumulation of choices. That's available right now, not suddenly, not soon, now. The question is whether you'll do it or whether you'll keep waiting for sudden transformation that keeps you from doing the gradual work. Your choice determines everything. Not predictions, not cosmic timing, not sudden shifts. Your choices, your consistency, your willingness to do boring work over extended time. That's the only thing that's really about to happen. More of whatever you're currently choosing. So choose better. Act now. Stop waiting. That's the message. The only one that matters. The only one that creates actual change. Everything else is noise. Turn it off. Start building. Now, nothing significant happens suddenly except catastrophes and lottery wins, neither of which you can predict or control. Real transformation comes through accumulated daily choices over months and years. Stop consuming predictions about dramatic shifts and start doing the boring, consistent work that actually changes lives. Your power is in daily action, not in waiting for cosmic events. Use it or stay stuck. Those are your only options.